দর্শক সবাইকে সালাম এবং শুভেচ্ছা জানিয়ে শুরু করছি আজকের টাইম টক অনুষ্ঠান। ইট ইজ এ ভেরি ইম্পর্টেন্ট সাবজেক্ট। আজকে যে বিষয়টি আমরা আলোচনা করব, ইনোভেশন কুইন্স নামে একটি প্রজেক্ট হাতে নেওয়া হয়েছে। এই প্রজেক্টের আন্ডারে এই নর্দার্ন বুলেভার্ড এবং এর আশপাশের 5টি ব্লক, যেটা এই যে লং আইল্যান্ড সিটিতে অবস্থিত, 37 স্ট্রিট অ্যান্ড দেন 35th অ্যাভিনিউ, এই এরিয়াকে ঘিরে আপনারা জানেন যে এখানে ডেভেলপার যারা আছে তারা কিভাবে সাধারণ মানুষ, বিশেষ করে লো ইনকাম পিপল এবং মিড ইনকাম পিপল যারা, তাদের লাইফকে হেল্প করছে। তারা এখানে লাক্সারিয়াস যে অ্যাপার্টমেন্ট বিল্ডিং নির্মাণ করছে এবং আলটিমেটলি এই লাক্সারিয়াস অ্যাপার্টমেন্ট বিল্ডিংয়ের আশপাশে কোনো নিম্ন আয়ের মানুষ বা মধ্য আয়ের কোনো মানুষের পক্ষে বাস করা সম্ভব হচ্ছে না। যে এস্টোরিয়া, যে লং আইল্যান্ড সিটি একসময় ছিল নিম্ন আয় এবং মধ্যম আয়ের মানুষের বাসস্থান, সেই লং আইল্যান্ড সিটি এবং এস্টোরিয়া এখন সবচেয়ে লাক্সারিয়াস যারা লাইফ মেনটেন করে তাদের উপযোগী, বসবাস উপযোগী জায়গাকে পরিণত করেছি ডেভেলপাররা। এবং আজকে এই বিষয়টি আমরা আলোচনা করব যে এই বিষয়ে আমাদের কমিউনিটি কি ভূমিকা পালন করতে পারে এবং সিটি কাউন্সিলের এইখানের ভূমিকাটা কি পর্যায়ে আছে এবং কোন অবস্থায় আছে। এটা আপনারা জানেন যে এই বিষয়ে একটি হিয়ারিং অনুষ্ঠিত হবে 19 অক্টোবর, এই মাসের 19 তারিখ, এবং সকাল 10টায় সিটি কাউন্সিলে এটার উপর হিয়ারিং অনুষ্ঠিত হবে। আমার সাথে আজকে আছেন আমাদের এই এলাকার সিটি কাউন্সিল মেম্বার জুলি ওন। তিনি আজকে আপনাদের বলবেন, বাট তিনি সবার কাছে আহ্বান জানাবেন যে 19 তারিখ সকাল 10টায় আপনারা সবাই যেন সিটি কাউন্সিলের সামনে গিয়ে আপনাদের উদ্বেগ এবং উৎকণ্ঠা প্রকাশ করেন, যাতে এই বিলটি, এই যে প্রপোজালটি পাস হতে না পারে। যাই হোক, আজকে এই বিষয়ে আমরা আলোচনা করব। আমাদের সাথে আছেন District 26 Long Island City District Councilor member Julie Owen. Julie Owen, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's so good to be here.
Yeah, so it's very disturbing news that there is a 5 block will be under the innovation of Queens, and all the luxurious apartment and building they will build. The hungry developer, they changed the Long Island City already, you know, and the Long Island City, once it was a resident of all the low income, mid income people, but now it is like a dream. They tears and they left Long Island City. What's going on?
So Innovation Queens is a large scale $2 billion project, 2 billion with a B. And what they're looking for is a neighborhood transformation. That's what they're calling it, to make it a rich cultural mixed use area where they're going to have luxury market rate apartments mirroring the image of Long Island City. Sky high rises of 27 stories with lots of glass. They want to have, they want to change the neighborhood to make it into something that it currently isn't today, which isn't always bad. But what I'm fighting for is affordability, to make sure that our immigrants, because Astoria and Long Island City has always been for immigrants, for Bangladeshi immigrants, Korean immigrants, Himalayan immigrants, Latino immigrants. Like we all came here because it was affordable. And now we're seeing, like you said, people leaving in tears. We're going to see that again because people won't be able to afford to live here anymore. The last one that just opened, Gotham Point, the 2-bedroom, because all of us have families, right? Most of us have families, if not extended family, multi-generational with our grandparents. We can't afford to live here anymore because a 2-bedroom is worth $8,000 per month at market rate. Gotham Point, that's the last one that just opened. And we're trying to prevent that, and I'm fighting for more affordability, saying it should be 50% affordable at least.
Okay, so the thing is, our community, they knows that, okay, if you want to change zoning or anything, then you have to go to the community board first, then you have to go to the city council, the borough president. So what is the status of the community board and borough president in that project, Innovation Queens?
Yeah, you're right. In the land use process, they have to go through the ULURP, and a part of that, even if it's advisory, is going to the community board. And the community board unanimously voted it down. They said, no, we don't want this project. And even before the vote, they asked them, because it got voted down on land use committee and then at the community board at large, and the community board member asked the developer, sir, have you made any of the changes that we have asked you to make for modification to make it so that it's more feasible for us to swallow in this community? And they said no. And then they said, okay, then we'll vote. And then they all voted no.
What about the borough president?
The borough president voted no with conditions. One of the major ones also being concerns of affordability, and he called for 50% affordable.
So we'll bring a borough president in Australia as well, and we'll make him accountable that how it's happening. But the thing is, as you mentioned, how many billions of dollars they are proposing to change this area?
2 billion.
2 billion. Who is paying this money?
Silverstein, Bedrock, and Kaufman Astoria.
Okay.
Along with
Kaufman
whatever
Astoria,
they're doing for financials.
people knows it, the
Yeah.
Kaufman Studio and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So people don't know they are developer as well.
Yeah,
right?
they've bought a lot of land. Even the land right across the street from here, they own.
Right. So they don't know even. The Kaufman is grabbing the place, and they are developing because they always thought it's a cultural, it is a historical institution.
Yes.
Where they are exploring our culture, our custom and all this stuff. But
Yeah.
people don't know even Kaufman is doing this. That
Yes.
they are grabbing the lands and developing for rich people. Okay, so
Yeah.
who else are involved in it?
So Silverstein Properties, Larry Silverstein is one of the largest developers in the city. He owns almost, like, if you look up online what other properties he owns
Okay.
almost a majority of Manhattan.
Okay.
And large chunks of Queens as well. And Bedrock is also an investment firm, and same thing with Kaufman. Kaufman Astoria had quietly bought out a lot of land around their studio.
They bought the next door.
Yes.
Next door, if you see the corner of our next door,
Yeah.
Kaufman, they build up their studio
And
there.
Silverstein also owns the Sushi X Popeyes land also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they have more land than what we're just talking about today.
So this is their private investment, right?
Yes.
Okay, and they propose $2 billion are they all together, or they?
Yeah, they're doing it together. They're all partners
So
in the 5 blocks.
okay, so as we always know, the business people, they are compete each other.
Yeah.
How they get united to grab this project?
Because all the land isn't owned by Silverstein or Bedrock or Kaufman. I think there is a mix, and a project of this scale, it should really be going through a neighborhood rezoning where the city is the applicant. But right now we have a private application for a neighborhood transformation project, and for something like this, because of the financials, I think that's why it was probably why they got together. I don't know the backstory of how they ended up becoming partners.
Okay, so do you have any idea, because zoning is very important.
Yeah.
So this area is the zoning belong to which they cannot raise the high-rise building,
Yeah,
right?
as of right.
So does that change the zoning?
Yes.
They
So
already
right
changed it?
now, no, not yet, but it's commercial, residential, and manufacturing industrial currently. But what they want is mixed use, so they want a special zoning permit to build higher above the limit, and they also want to be able to do commercial, residential, both.
So how they get the permission? How
Well, they
what is the
applied
procedure
for
to
it.
get the permission?
They apply for it.
So they apply for where?
They applied for the zoning permission,
Okay.
like the zoning change, which is why we're going through the ULURP process. And
Okay.
they're already certified.
So they already approved for this?
Yeah, but no, they're not approved for it. They are going through the process.
Okay.
Yeah.
What the rules
That means
of
that they will be considered, not guaranteed.
Okay, what is the role of the Department of City Planning?
Department of City Planning is basically, they conduct all of the ULURP process, and they are kind of making sure that they have met the charter's requirements legally, that they are doing everything that they're supposed to by law to go through the ULURP process.
But they are not the policymaker.
No, they're not.
They are not the policymaker.
They just uphold what is currently in
we
place.
heard that Department of City Planning, they already permit, they say yes, they
Yes,
can do it.
because this project has already met the legal requirements to go through the ULURP process.
Okay. So now, who are the person who will give the permission to approve this project?
It will be the city council.
Okay, so City Council.
Yes.
Okay, so what City Council is thinking? Let's talk about this.
Yeah, I'm not I can't speak
Because
on behalf
you know,
of my...
Julie, you represent this neighborhood,
Yes,
right?
I do.
You are the voice of the constituent
Yes.
of this neighborhood, right? All the City Council member, they don't represent all the riches like Kaufman and other, as you mentioned, right? They are the people who elected by the resident,
Yes.
and they have to take care of the people who are their voters and their
Yeah.
resident. not like 3 or 4 company
Of
who
course.
belong all kind of money, right?
Yeah.
They have to think about, they have to consider before they made a decision that, okay, what will be the consequence of that area? What will be the future of the generation who
Yeah.
born here and thought they will, they will stay here near the city where they can afford their house
Yeah.
and they can build up their next generation as well, right?
Yeah.
So city council member, what is their, do you have any idea what they want? City council, how the company approaching the city council and what would be the role of the city council members?
Yeah, so I can't speak for city council at large
Yes.
because the city council members will vote in the ways that they see it, but I can say traditionally or historically, the city council has stood for member deference, where they say, just like you said, I don't live there, you live there, and you know your constituents, what do they want? And that's
Right.
what you represent, and they respect it. So if I say, hey, this project is not affordable for my community, until I get to 55% affordable, I cannot support this project. I need
Yeah.
at least 50. And for the most part, most council members will say, I respect that and I'm with you. So if you want to vote no, I will vote no with you. So that's usually how it has been. Right now, there's a lot of pressure from the mayor to be a city of yes. Well, I mean, we've seen it with Bloomberg, we've seen it with de Blasio, where they want to build anything and everything.
Right.
And that isn't always the answer, especially in a housing crisis now, like now, where we have so many people who are unhoused. We have new migrants and refugees like us, we're immigrants too. To say we can't just build market rate luxury housing, but we also have to build affordable housing, mixed income, so that way when you're building these sky high rises, it's not just for wealthy folks, but it's also for people who are migrants, who are working class folks, who can still live there and be part of that community where we have always been.
Right. Okay, so basically you should be the leader of, you should lead this project because you are
The council member for this
member of
district.
this, right?
So that's what I'm pushing for.
Yes.
And that's why I'm on this TV
How
channel.
many members in the city council?
51.
51. Okay, so what are you thinking? How many you are already
I would like to have at least 30 votes
34.
with me to say no to this project if they're not willing to give us more affordability.
So what do you think? Did you talk to, are you mobilizing your effort to convince the other city council member?
Yeah, I am speaking to my council members, but it's also helpful when we have the Bangladeshi community all over the city calling their council members saying, hey, I want to stand in solidarity with Julie and the Bangladeshi community in Astoria to say, please, fight for more affordability, and if we can't get more affordability, then we have to vote no on this project because it's not reflective of us.
What about a community meeting or a community hall meeting?
So we
to
were
award the community that okay, what's going on, because might be one day in the morning when they wake up they will see, oh, it has been passed. They don't know even.
Yeah.
So
that's why we're doing outreach with the news outlets, ethnic media, and then it's my role is very different as a council member for housing advocacy.
Yeah.
I have to legally be where I am now, but we have housing organizers like the Astoria Not For Sale Coalition, Justice for All, Western Queens Land Trust, as well as CAV, who are organizing the Bangladeshi and Latino immigrants who heavily are residents currently of that area to make sure that they're aware that they're coming to the public hearing, sharing their story of how they're saying, hey, I'm the only one left in my building because no one can afford to live here anymore.
Right.
Hey, I'm getting these notices from my landlord saying, we want you to move out because I'm getting $5 million for this building tomorrow. So we're sharing these stories to tell the council to say, hey, what's happening right now is not good. It is not right. You cannot just build displacing all of us for the benefit of somebody else.
Right.
It has to be for all of us, which means that there's affordable housing.
Yeah, so I mean, I know you cannot mobilize yes or no, what about the community, but you should inform the community.
Yes.
That okay, this is the thing happening,
Right.
and you decide what you want to do, right?
Yeah. So that's what we're doing.
So you are doing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so any idea about out of this 30 or 31 vote, how many city council member you already reach, and do you need the community to reach out the city council member?
I do.
So say about Bangladeshi community, they have the city council member in Long Island City, they have city council member in Astoria, they have city council member in Jackson Heights, they have city council member in Ozone Park, They have city council
Really
member
important
in,
for them to call.
Yeah, they have city council member in Hillside Avenue.
Yeah.
They have city council member in Church and McDonald Avenue, which is Bangladeshi descent as well,
Yeah.
right? And then, so I know many area where in Bronx, Parkchester area,
It's really important.
where all the the city council member, the Bangladesh in that area, the area I'm mentioning, which is the Bangladeshi community is the determining factor to elect a city council member.
Yeah.
Right? So what is your appeal to the community? If you can talk to them.
Yeah, I ask you to call your city council members in the Bronx and Brooklyn, all over Queens and Manhattan, to call them and say, hello, I would like you to vote no on Innovation Queens unless we get 55% affordability, because we immigrants have made this neighborhood what it is today, and we are the working class, the backbone of the economy, so we have to be able to afford to live here. We don't want to just work here, we want to be able to live here as we have been. So I implore you to vote with us, to ask them to vote with us, to not buck member deference. And we also invite you to come to City Hall on October 19th at 10 a.m. to stand with us for the public hearing to share why it's important to have more affordable housing in all of the market rate developments, because we simply cannot live like this anymore. Thank you.
Yes, so we'll talk a little bit more after a small break, and then we'll talk more.
Thank you.
দর্শক, আমরা একটা ছোট্ট বিরতিতে যাচ্ছি, বিরতির পর ফিরবো, আমাদের সাথেই থাকুন।
চলো হারিয়ে যাই তুমি আমি দুজনে মিলে, মিষ্টি মিষ্টি আদরে ভালোবাসার চাদরে হারিয়ে যাই দূরে বহুদূরে। লালা
এভাবেই হারিয়ে গিয়ে ফিরে আসার গল্পগুলো বুনি শাহজালাল ফুড প্রোডাক্টসের বিস্কুট এবং ড্রাই ফ্রুটের সাথে। শাহজালাল, ঐতিহ্যের অনন্য স্বাদ, বিশ্বময়।
At Starling Diagnostics, our focus is patient care. Our spa-like environment is COVID compliant and promotes patient comfort. We even have dedicated areas for women to ensure complete privacy. We provide all radiology services, including MRI, CT, X-rays, mammograms, and ultrasounds with the latest technology. We are conveniently located in the Parkchester neighborhood of the Bronx. Call us at 718-319-1610.
দর্শক, আপনাদের সবাইকে আবার শুভেচ্ছা জানাচ্ছি টাইম টক অনুষ্ঠানে। আপনারা জানেন যে আমরা খুব সিরিয়াস একটি বিষয় নিয়ে আমরা আলোচনা করছিলাম, যে ইনোভেশন কুইন্স নামে তিনটি কোম্পানি, যারা এই কুইন্সের এই লং আইল্যান্ড সিটির কিছু এরিয়াকে তারা হাই রেইজ এবং লাক্সারিয়াস অ্যাপার্টমেন্ট হিসেবে 37 তলা বিল্ডিংয়ে তারা পরিণত করতে চাচ্ছে, যার ফলে এই এরিয়ায় যারা বসবাস করেন বাংলাদেশি, ল্যাটিনো, চাইনিজ, কোরিয়ান ইমিগ্রেন্ট কমিউনিটি, তারা এখানে থাকতে পারবে না। বিকজ লাক্সারিয়াস অ্যাপার্টমেন্ট হওয়া মানেই হলো এরিয়ার ভাড়া বেড়ে যাওয়া, এবং কোনো কোনো অ্যাপার্টমেন্টের ভাড়া 8,000ও হতে পারে, এরকম কথা শোনা যাচ্ছে। সো এই বিষয়টি আমরা আলোচনা করছি আমাদের এই এরিয়ার কাউন্সিল মেম্বার ডিস্ট্রিক্ট 26-এর জুলি উনের সাথে। জুলি উন, ওয়েলকাম টু দ্য শো অ্যাগেইন। সো এজ ইউ মেনশন, সো 19th of October, 10th a.m. the hearing. The decision will be, the final decision will be held the decision will make in this day?
Not on that day, but it'll be very, very dependent on the outcome of that day. They're going to keep track of how many people oppose this project and how many people support this project.
Okay.
And we already know that a lot of people are coming because there are jobs on the line, for example. The labor unions want those jobs so that they can be building for 10 years or something.
Any idea who are supporting this project?
32BJ supports this project. and a few other unions, maybe 2 other unions support this project.
So union, they are supporting the project?
Yeah, because they get jobs if we build this project. Does that make sense?
Union people always, people thought union people, they always think about the
Low
working
income,
class people.
exactly. I
you
mean,
know.
they are working class, and it's so sad because we see over and over again they pit immigrants and working class people against labor unions who are also working class people, saying like, I
Right.
need jobs, and then the residents are saying, I need a home. I need to be able to live here still.
So I want to ask you another question. As you mentioned that 50% has to be affordable housing, right?
Yes.
Okay, but in the name of affordable housing,
Yeah.
did you see this, if you want to apply for under the affordable housing, your
Yeah.
income has to be like 50 to 60,000 or 100,000.
I know.
Right?
So,
So how affordable housing, and in the name of affordable housing,
Yeah.
your income has to be like, high income income.
I agree with you.
So how you can change that kind of,
So that's actually federal and state law, so that has to be changed on a higher level than the city, because we follow the AMI levels of the federal government and the state government. I do agree that it's not acceptable, because since 2010, with
Yeah.
my predecessor, Eric Joya and Jimmy Van Bramer, we have built more, we're the second most developed in the whole city.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
we witnessed it in Long Island City. We've built more than 28,000 units of housing, but only 10% of that was affordable. And affordability level was pegged at 120% AMI, which means you have to make more than $100,000
yes.
to live there.
It's like a joke.
I know, it's offensive to working class people.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm fighting, saying, no, this is not enough. We need
Yeah.
to have more affordability for people. If you're going to, if you're putting X amount of people at risk for secondary displacement as well as primary displacement,
Yeah.
then you need to make sure that there's housing with low AMI, 30% AMI, to say people who are making under this much money, like under $50,000, should still be able to live there. And that's what we're fighting for.
So the lobbyists are there very strong,
Yes, they are.
right? So that kind of project, when they plan to execute that kind of plan, they
Yeah.
spend a lot of money for lobbying as well.
Yes.
To buy the people who can vote for them,
Yep.
to buy the policymaker, and also the bureaucrats
Yeah.
who can work for them.
Yeah.
What is your assessment about this project? Because this is a $2 billion project
Yeah.
in a neighborhood which is a low-income neighborhood.
Yeah.
So
It's
what?
a historically red line district.
Yeah.
I mean, red line neighborhood in the district. So we know that this is following the patterns of gentrification, of pushing out people who are working class and immigrants out of their neighborhood to build something that is not for them
Yeah.
because they can't afford to live there.
Yeah, that's right.
And what do I see is that there is no lower rent lobby, you know, like there's no lobbyists for us working class people to say we deserve to live here and we need to have better affordability for rent. We should have better rent protections, eviction protections. We don't have anything like that. But we do have elected officials like myself who come from the same background saying, hey, I have to move every single year because I can't afford my rent. My landlord is constantly raising the rent 15%. I can't afford to pay that, so I have to go find another place. And we're tired of it. And the lobbyists from anywhere, even from the unions to the real estate folks, they are going very hard. They're pushing the mayor, they're pushing the speaker, they're pushing other council members, calling them saying, we need this project, just vote against Julie. We need this project, this is a good project. And they'll try to push it on us. But, you know, I fight back, and I hope my council members will fight back, and those council members will only fight back if they hear from you. If they hear from other residents that voted them in to say, hey, even though I'm in the Bronx and Parkchester, I want to stand in solidarity with my Bangladeshi brothers in Astoria to say they deserve to stay there. You need more affordable housing or this project can't go through. And we keep on fighting. And we keep on fighting because there's no lobbying on our behalf, only on the opposition.
So the coalition who are, organizing, they're opposing the, this
Yes.
project.
Yes.
Do you have any idea who are they? And then if Bangladeshi community want to merge with them or be unified with them, express their solidarity with them, how they can contact with them?
Yeah, Faria Akhtar is a Bangladeshi organizer, part of CAV, and she's been organizing in Little Bangladesh as well as this part of Astoria.
Right.
So they should join her. And CAV is also part of a larger coalition with Woodsign on the Move, and Muslims for Organizing, Justice for All Coalition, Western Queens Land Trust, Ravenswood Land Trust, as well as Astoria Tenants Association. Like all of them are in the same group. Under Astoria Not for Sale. So they have continued to expand their base, and they're growing in numbers, so we need to continue to join them in this fight.
Yeah, so let me tell our community. দর্শক, আপনারা যারা এই অনুষ্ঠান দেখছেন, জুলি যেটা বলছেন সেটা হচ্ছে যে আমাদের এই কমিউনিটির সাথে অনেক কাউন্সিল মেম্বারই ঘনিষ্ঠ সম্পর্ক রয়েছে, বন্ধুত্ব আছে তাদের সাথে। আমাদের যাদের সাথে বন্ধুত্ব আছে, 19th of October 10 AM সিটি কাউন্সিলে এটার উপর একটা হিয়ারিং হবে। ওই হিয়ারিংয়ে আপনারা সবাই যেতে এবং আপনাদের মতামত এক্সপ্রেস করতে বলছেন, এবং ওইখানে যারা সিটি কাউন্সিল যার সাথে যার সম্পর্ক আছে এই বিষয়টি বলবেন যে এটাকে অপোজ করার জন্য। কারণ এটা যদি এখানে এস্টাবলিশ হয়, দেন লো ইনকাম পিপল, বিশেষ বাংলাদেশি যারা এরিয়া থাকেন, অন্যান্য কমিউনিটির যারা আছে লো ইনকাম পিপল, তাদের পক্ষে এখানে জীবনযাপন করা খুবই কষ্টসাধ্য হবে, বিকজ ইট উইল বি ভেরি এক্সপেন্সিভ। দি এরিয়া অলরেডি আপনারা জানেন লং আইল্যান্ড সিটি ইজ ভেরি এক্সপেন্সিভ, but it will be more expensive if they come in this area. তো জুলি যে বিষয়টি বলছেন যে আপনারা যেন আপনাদের সিটি কাউন্সিল মেম্বার যারা আছেন তাদের সবার কাছে এই মেসেজটা দেন যে তারা যেন এটাকে অপোজ করেন এবং জুলি যে উদ্যোগ নিয়েছেন এই বিষয়টাকে সাপোর্ট করেন। জুলি, ওকে, we would like to finish the program, so can you just mention the date and time and what should be the appeal of the community to the city council member? Just if you can express.
October 19th is going to be very important. Meet us at October 19th, 10 a.m. at City Hall steps for the public hearing to say, please, make sure that we have 55% affordable housing in this project or vote no, because we can no longer afford to live here and we have nowhere to go. We deserve to stay in the families deserve to stay where they live, where they work, where they have accessibility to the city, and where their children have been going to school. So please do not displace our neighbors. Thank you.
Okay, another last question. If the city council, about 30 members, 50 out of 51, if 30 members say no, then what could happen?
Then it doesn't pass.
So if 30 members say no, then it's not going to happen.
No, it won't happen.
Okay.
If they say no, then it won't pass.
Thank you so much for being with us, and then also it's a very important issue, and definitely it is very sensitive as well. So we'll inform the community how they can react and what they are thinking about the project. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. দর্শক, জুলি এতক্ষণ যা বললেন আপনারা শুনেছেন ব্যাপারটি যে আগামী 19th of October 19 তারিখ সকাল 10টায় সিটি কাউন্সিলের সামনে এই বিষয়ে হিয়ারিং অনুষ্ঠিত হবে, এবং আপনারা যেটা শুনেছেন যে লং আইল্যান্ড সিটির 5টি ব্লক তারা রেসিডেন্সিয়াল লাক্সারি অ্যাপার্টমেন্ট করবে, এবং এখানে এই এরিয়া অনেক বাংলাদেশি থাকেন, তাদের পক্ষে আসলে আলামিন মসজিদের পাশেই পড়বে। সো এরিয়া তাদের পক্ষে বসবাস করা বা জীবনযাপন করা খুবই ব্যয়বহুল হবে। তো বিষয়টি নিয়ে যে হিয়ারিং হবে, এই হিয়ারিংয়ে আমাদের সিটি কাউন্সিল মেম্বার যারাই আমাদের পরিচিত আছেন সবাইকে একটু বলতে হবে যে তারা যেন এই প্রজেক্টের বিরুদ্ধে ভোট দেন, তারা যেন ন করেন, তাহলে এই এরিয়া যেভাবে আছে এইভাবেই থাকবে, ইনট্যাক্ট থাকবে। আজকে এ পর্যন্ত, আগামীতে আবার দেখা হবে। সবাই ভালো থাকবেন। খুদা হাফেজ। থ্যাংক ইউ।